Hello, my name is Jasmin Stone, and my daughter was about 13 months old when we got evicted from the hostel in Stratford, London, East 15. There were about 210 young women in the hostel at the time, and it's now a block of luxury flats. We were promised by Newham Council that we would be rehoused, but we realised they were just threatening to move us to Manchester or Birmingham or Hastings or somewhere 200 miles away from where our family is. We went to see the Labour Mayor of Newham, and he told us that if you can't afford to live in Newham, you can't afford to live in Newham. But we grew up in Newham. And, nobody can afford to live in Newham now. If you're on low wages or benefits, or actually, even on an average income, you can't afford to live in Newham anymore. And we know we're not alone. There's people in boroughs all over London who have been displaced and moved hundreds of miles away from where their families are. So that's why we decided to form Focus East 15 Mothers, which is a campaign group to fight for local social housing for everyone who needs it. This weekend, I don't know if you're aware, there's an open house event. There's an open house event in London, and it's where buildings in London that are not normally open to the public can go into them. So we thought we would join in the open house event, and we opened up a closed council house on the Carpenter's estate by the Olympic Park. The Carpenter's estate has over 2,000 houses on it, most of which are now empty because the council persuaded, cajoled, moved out, evicted people from this estate because they wanted to make money on the Olympics and sell the estate off to private, rich property developers. It hasn't been sold yet, it's still empty. There are a few people left. The council tried all sorts of ways to evict people, even by telling them that there was asbestos there in the estate. However, they did let Al Jazeera and the BBC use the estate as a base during the Olympics. The house that we opened up is lovely. It's in really good condition. There's a power shower, there's running gas and electricity, there's running water, and we put in a sofa and a table and chairs, some plants, and made a house into a home for one of the 6,500 rough sleepers in London, or the many more thousand homeless. Newham Council did say that they couldn't afford to rehouse us, but they could afford to spend a lot of money on dozens of security guards trying to get rid of us on Sunday. They didn't succeed. We believe that housing is a priority. We believe housing has become like a luxury commodity in London for the rich, like fine wines or art, something that they collect. I think it's called the tax haven on the Thames, London, at the moment for some people. And we know that there's a new category of housing called affordable housing, but this is, it's about 80% of what houses normally cost, so it's still not very affordable for anyone. The housing crisis is talked in terms of middle class people not being able to get on the property ladder, but actually the housing crisis is much more acute for people like us, who've got rising rents and unscrupulous landlords and eviction and all the rest of it. So I suppose what we believe is that housing is a right and not a privilege, and that's why we're campaigning for social housing and not social cleansing. And we believe that even small measures, like the mansion tax or rent capping, things like this would make a real difference to making housing fairer in London. So that our open house is open until the 28th of September, so if you want to come down, do come and visit us. Thanks.